everyone, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. How are you today? Today is Sunday, and welcome to my channel. My channel is mostly about crochet. We do some travel and just some life stuff. I know the last video I talked about the fact that we were going on a little day trip to a place called Nelson's Ledges where they have a glass skywalk. We did do that. I have some photos, which I will put at the back of the crochet chat. Then we also went on a little hike, and I'll tell you about that story too. I'm going to try to see if I can do the voiceover thing again. I think that worked out pretty good on the last video that I did that on. So that'll be at the end. If you want to see the sightseeing stuff, there's not a ton of photos, but there's a few. That'll be at the end. I have been working on, well, first of all, wait, let's stop. Let's take a step back. Yesterday, Billie did her auction, stage 1. Kimmy was with her live, Kimmy from Boggy Creek. I was so excited to see Kimmy there. I did watch the whole thing. I've been on a couple of things, but I didn't win anything. During the majority of the auction, I was at a campfire. And so I had it playing and I was checking in, but I wasn't like watching. I was just peering, you know, kind of in the corner on the outside looking in. Then for the last maybe hour and a half or 2 hours, then I was, we were back to the camper and I was able to like really pay attention. I cannot believe her. I mean, I'm so thrilled. Her blanket at the end, the grand finale blanket, sold for $1,200. That is so fabulous. She worked so hard on that and she was so excited about it. So many of us had tears in our eyes. Some of the items sold for so much money. She raised over $6,000 yesterday. And that's just so fabulous. This community is just wonderful. I guess she's going to do it again next Saturday. She didn't get to many of the things that were just, pictures mailed into her. I know she didn't, I don't think she put mine up. Not that I could see. I think, she was doing a lot of Brian's stuff and blankets that she made or that people sent her that she physically had. That's what I could tell when I was at the campfire. And Brian's, everything was just so beautiful. The community is just so wonderful and so many people are so talented. And I was just thrilled to be even just watching in the background. Lynanne was on, Nancy was on, they were selling a couple of things. It was wonderful. It was really cool. If you didn't get to see it, go watch the replay. Just to see all the beautiful blankets and shawls and things that were made and sold. It was just wonderful. So that being said, my outfit wasn't in there last night. Excuse me. But I was crocheting while I watched the last half of it. I have been working on my smiley face blanket. If you saw Trisha's 2-part video from Boggy Creek and all the blankets that she's got made, this hair is sticking up here. She has a whip of a big circle blanket, smiley face, but she's going to make hers a pumpkin. So cool. Hers is orange. She is way done further than I am. But mine is now, let me pull it all out of here. Oh, take it. Stop that. Mine is now about 3 feet across, 36 inches. So I think I have one or two more rows. This is how much yellow I have left from our 1 pound of that big twist. mine is a yellow smiley face, because when the yarn was sitting in a skein, it just cried out that it needed to be a smiley face blanket. So I don't know how many stitches I have in here, but it is about 36 inches, and I am doing double crochet. So I think 1 or 2 more rounds of yellow, and then I'll go to 2 rounds of black. That's the plan so far. So I'll add the next round of yellow, see how much bigger it gets, and then I can figure out how to make a big enough heart for an eye, or 2 hearts for the eyes. I hope I have enough to go around 2 more times. I do have another skein of this. This is just varsity yellow. It's not the neon yellow. So I do have more of that yarn, thank goodness. And I'm using a 6mm hook, and I just make it a big huge circle. I have also worked on my luck of the draw. I think I'm on week 8. I just finished. This is the ripples in the creek. Sorry, Trish, I know that's wrong. It's probably wrong. It is in the playlist. And let's see, this was week 1. White is my main color. If you know luck of the draw at all, you know you have, now we're doing 5 weekly colors and 1 main color. So my main is 4 rows of white, then 8 rows of the main color, then the 4 rows of white, and then, of the weekly color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess I'm on week 9. I did get behind with that crochet along stuff I needed, or crochet I needed to do for with Amanda, for the great nephew, and my elephant for the Boggy Creek auction. So anyway, I'm just started my week 9 color, so I still have 10 and 11 to go. I haven't measured it to see how long it is, because it can go up to 50 inches, 40 to 50 in the length. So we'll see where I'm at after I get my next 12 rows on. It's a wonderful pattern. There's a tutorial. It's in the playlist, the Boggy Creek playlist. That's on all of my videos. And this pattern is by Trish. I think the tutorial for this one is by Jaxie from Creations by Jax and Trish's Mama Swift. Excuse me. What was I going to say? Something. Oh yeah. I lost train of thought there for a minute. I know I always get the names of these wrong, but it does something about the creek and ripples. I'm pretty sure there's ripples in the creek or something close to that. You'll catch it. You'll say, oh yeah, that's the one she was talking about. It's a great pattern. I totally love it, and it's easy to just add on. What are you there? So that's all the crochet I've done. Doing the circle blanket, it's at the bigger sections now, so it takes a while to get around it one time, and you count, because you have to increase all the time. So I started putting stitch markers where I need to increase on the next round. So if I'm 25 stitches and then an increase, then on the 26th stitch I put a stitch marker, so the next time I know, get to that stitch marker and it's time to do an increase again. And that's been working out. I just figured that out the last couple of rounds. I'm like, God, all this counting is just taking so long. And it went a lot faster. I had to, pre-count it a couple of times, recount a couple of times just to make sure that I was trusting my math. And it worked out pretty good. So I was happy about that. So my priority now are those 2. So that luck of the draw, because I know another one's coming out, and get my circle done, and then I got to figure out how to make It's a big circle. The hearts that I have made in the past are small. I need a bigger heart for the eyes, or else they're, you know, like proportional. And I don't know how to do that. So I gotta do some research on that. If I make one, I'll probably do two. We'll see. If it's hard, I might do one in an oval. Or a wink. We'll see how that goes. So that's all I have for this part of the video. That's all the crochet I have. I don't have a lot to show. I'm sorry about that. But I'm getting caught up little by little. Then next will come, we went on the glass, it's called Nelson Kennedy Ledges or something, glass walk. It's not as big as what I anticipated, the walkway itself, but it was cool anyway. The walk up was a little bit of a challenge because my one knee still doesn't work as well as it should, and a lot of that might be my fault. I think I have a lot of scar tissue in there, and it doesn't bend as far as I would like it to. But I don't really work real hard at making it bend because it hurts. And, you know, I had the surgery so that I don't hurt. If I don't do things like make it go further than what it wants to, it doesn't hurt. So I've gotten real wimpy. I'm like, my knees don't hurt on a regular basis. And I don't like to do things that make them hurt now because I like living without the pain, which was the whole point of having the knees operated on to begin with, right? My husband says, just, you know, make it go all the way around on a circle and you'll feel way better in the long run. I'm like, I don't hurt now. Why do I want to get on that bike and make it do those things? But it's finally healed enough that I should do it. I don't think there's any more infection or anything like that, so I really need to toughen my butt up and get up to we have a exercise equipment here, and bicycles is what I really need to do, is a bicycle with it. And I wholeheartedly admit I'm being lazy about that. So the ledges were a little more difficult than what they should have been for me. The knee, the first knee that I had done, I handled it with no problem. The other knee was, like I said, a little So then, since we did that so well, all 6 of us that are 55 and older, we decided that there was a eagle's nest observation area within a couple of miles of there. We should go check that out. A couple of us have binoculars. Roy carries his binoculars everywhere. So it was supposed to be like a 1.5 mile round trip, I think. But I think it was 1.5 miles each way. I don't know. I put in 10,000 steps going to these 2 places. And they say we weren't lost. I say we got lost. When one of us had to pull out a GPS on their phone to figure out where we were and how to get back to the parking lot, because we took a wrong turn someplace and we were definitely going in the wrong direction. And this was after we had already walked a lot of steps for those of us that don't walk every day. You know, not 10,000 steps a day anyway. We were like getting tired and hot and hungry and dehydrated. And poor Jeff, he was getting eaten up by bugs. But we made it out, and they all insist we were just off the beaten path. We weren't lost. I'm like, you had to pull out a GPS. You didn't know where you were. You weren't where you were supposed to be, in the woods. I say that's lost. But, I mean, we're in a town, and if you walk far enough any direction, you will come across a house. And we did, and when we hit the houses, we knew we were going the wrong way. So we turned around. But I did threaten to call 911 and have them send out search and rescue dogs. I was kidding. They think I was serious, but I was kidding. So that was quite the adventure, and I hope you enjoyed the few pictures I have of that. Not too many. I have more of the because we were lost in the woods and there wasn't much to take a picture of. So I will show you those pictures, and I hope you enjoy them. And that's all I have for today's video. So thanks so much for watching. I don't know if, well, I'm going to maybe talk over. Maybe I just said everything I needed to say. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.